Yeah.
All right. Now we're on stage. So.
Oh, we are back. Dean is back. Everybody is back tonight.
We invited him back.
Yeah. Welcome to Ballin Out Plus. I am your host, Braden Burke, and that is Brad James and Dean. I don't know your last name, Dean.
Let's keep it that way.
So welcome back, Dean.
We only bring up last names on the third date.
Yeah, this is only the second date. Sorry, Dean. Is it Maine?
Would have been the third, but you
Dean
cut me out of
Maines.
that one podcast.
Actually, Braden was the only one that was talking to you on that other podcast.
That's true. That is true. I still don't know. I don't know if I didn't have one of the mics on the switchboard up or what, but I don't know. I had my phone up, I thought, all the way, but I guess not.
I was telling Brad the reason I was late because I'm like, okay, guys, I'm leaving. I'll be back. And Carter, the 7-year-old, he's like, starts throwing a fit, like absolute, just bawling. I don't want you to leave. I don't want you to leave. Like, dude, I'm gonna be back in a little bit. You're tired. You're gonna lay down and watch a movie anyway. I'll be back. And like, clinging to my leg. I'm like, Jenny, help me out here. She goes, you just gotta leave. I don't want to just do. I don't want to just do that.
Hitting his head on the door, trying to close the door, and
I push him off of me, stiff arm. But I'm walking back over there. He's just bawling. I'm like, dude. I'm like, buddy, you're being a little dramatic about this.
Right.
Then I'm like, okay, what if I like die while I'm out tonight?
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I'll be back. And I'm like, Jenny, you got to help me. She's like, Carter, come here. I'm like, I'm walking out. He's bawling. I text him. I'm like, will you like at least tell me if he calms down or something?
Yeah,
Like,
right.
God, I'm a piece of shit.
gets home later. He's still crying.
I know. Thanks, Carter. I knew that. Oh, geez. I was like, oh, thank, cool.
Oh,
Anyway.
No, kids are funny that way, dude. Like, you know, it's weird because sometimes you'll get, you know, like my boys, they're teenagers now, and you'll get to the point to where they come home from school and you don't see them, right? Like you legitimately, they'll come off the bus, they'll say, hey, how is work going or whatever, and I'll say, great, you know, or how was school? We'll talk for 30 seconds. Usually they grab a snack and then they're upstairs. And whether that's to do their chore or to get on their phones or play video games, whatever it is. But then the next time I see them is for dinner. Like, that's it. And then it's like 9:30, 10 o'clock rolls around on a school night, and they know that that's bedtime, right? Mm-hmm. Well, then they want to come downstairs, and they're like, hey, Dad, how's your day been? No. I want to talk to you. I want to hang out with you. And I'm like, no, motherfuckers.
Skip the pleasantries.
You could have done this hours ago. Like,
right.
No. It's just funny how kids' minds like will just flip from, and they're not doing it intentionally. I know they're not. It's just like all of the other distractions have been taken away.
Yep.
And so now they're like, oh, I can kind of fixate on my dad or my mom or my sisters, whatever it is. And I'm just like, you know, no, it doesn't work that way. Like if you wanted this kind of interaction, y'all should have come down like hours ago and talked. Mm-hmm. But you know, it's funny because you'll go home and like tomorrow, you'll be home all day tomorrow, and Carter will just
they'll be outside.
Yeah,
they won't care.
He'll want to play with the neighbor kids
until bedtime.
Yeah, he'll want to play with the neighbor kids and all that kind of stuff. Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Last night we had like so Carter was at a sleepover, and Maverick, we were gonna do a date night, whatever. He's like, it's a date night. Cool. So we're gonna go to dinner and go to a movie. Cool. And, like I don't like the movie theater, but I committed. I'm like, I'll go to the movie theater. It's fine. So I get there after ordering groceries. I get there at like 7 o'clock when the movie's supposed to start, and we walk in. And it was sold out. The Mario movie.
Oh.
So we were like, okay, well we gotta order tickets for the 8 o'clock. I'm like, okay, well this is a sign that I'm not supposed to go to this movie, and I hate movies anyway. So we go to Steak and Shake by the movie theater, which is disgusting now. Don't go. And he's like, oh, this is a date. Thinks it's a date. It's Jenny and I. And then I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to drop you and mom off at the movie theater. He's like, well, that's not a date then. if you're not going on a date, I'm like, sorry, buddy. I mean, we went on a date to this. And it was just like, but just how their minds were like, this is not a date now.
Right, yeah, no longer a date.
Oh, these kids are freaking weird.
They are. They are.
But that's so funny.
Shite. Is that view better?
Yeah,
Okay.
the little
I can adjust.
tag. Yeah, keep coming down, right? A little bit more.
More?
Yeah, a little bit more.
With duct tape. Jesus. More?
Check out Dean's bulge.
Uh-oh. Oh no, we've lost Brad and Dean. I don't know what happened. We've lost them. Oh, they're back. There we go. That was weird.
Thank God. You're caught in my bulge.
It's the pleat. It's the pleat and the pants.
That should be good.
Right, it's the pleat. Oh man, yeah. So tomorrow starts like our fucking 2.5, 3 month long, just balls to the walls, crazy ass sports schedule with the kids, dude. So Brady was supposed to have baseball tomorrow. I mean, I guess it's a blessing and a curse. It's supposed to be like 30 some degrees here tomorrow with wind chill. So baseball, his doubleheader for baseball was canceled. They called that.
Yeah.
But he still has his flag football game. And then Monday, he's got a track meet. So Monday, we've got 3 dentist appointments. We've got a track meet. I've got a patio guy coming here to the house. My wife has a doctor's appointment. Kylie has ballet at night. And then Tuesday, Brady has a baseball game now. Wednesday, he has another track meet. Thursday, and Kylie has gymnastics on Wednesdays. Thursday, I don't know what the hell we have. It's probably something. Oh, my wife works. So it's me all day with the kids by myself. And then it's Friday all over again. And I'm like, good Lord. Like it just,
Oh.
Yeah.
You're saying you're going to be busy next week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It keeps me sane, I guess, is one way that I would put it. I like being busy. And since I've been working from home for the past almost, 2.5 years now, it allows me to at least get out of the house and interact, do things that I'm not normally doing on a day in and day out basis. When, I used to work retail, so every single day I spent, 10, 12 hours a day talking, interacting, being in a social environment, and now I don't have that. So
Yeah.
it is nice. It's a nice break, but it's different.
Yeah.
How old are your kids, Braden?
Braxton is 6. Bryson will be 4 in 2 weeks.
3 hours. Oh.
Yeah, 3 hours. About 2 weeks, he'll be 4. And then Barrett will be 2 in August.
So you're about to where we are, to where Carter started baseball, Mavericks got T-ball, so they've got a couple practices a week, and then come May, it's like 2 games apiece every week.
Uh-huh.
So you're close to that, which is it's great. It's a blessing and a curse.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, right now my boys are into dinosaurs, and that's about it. So
Yeah, mine do dinosaurs too. Love it.
it's great. Stepping on them in the middle of the night.
The kids?
The kids.
You're waiting for your dog to eat one and have to then shit out the next day.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again. The T-Rex wasn't easy coming out, but man, that Stegosaurus.
What would do you have a spot there where we could all be?
Yeah, we could rig something up.
Yeah.
I'm sure we could. I've got a big enough basement.
Holy water there in the.
Yep. When you come through, it's like a spritzer machine. You know, like these sisters that when you go to some football games on those hot days, you run through them. That's kind of what we got here. You go down the basement, you just get blessed.
Yeah.
You're right.
So
Did you watch the game today?
I did. I watched. You're talking about blue and gold game.
Yeah. The spring game.
Yeah, I watched the first half, and I'll tell you, Buckner has no chance starting over
No.
Hartman. I was watching
No.
Hartman play. Hartman looked like he's a 4-year starter at Notre Dame right now. Like he just,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I know he came from Wake Forest, and he had, he's a great thrower. His vision was awesome to see. Estime, he kind of really didn't impress me too much today, but I know they're just, it's a scrimmage. But I was
Yeah,
really impressed with Hartman. And I even went to social media and said, Hartman over Buckner right now because Buckner just looked garbage.
Well, I mean, even last year, just watching Buckner play, he looked lost in most of
Yeah.
the games that I was able to sit and watch the full entire gameplay. He never looked comfortable. For as highly touted as he was when he came to Notre Dame, I just was not impressed with his ability to read the field or anything. Now, I didn't watch Hartman play. Obviously, everybody reads the statistics and, they know he blew it up at Wake Forest and everything else. But I think there is something to be said about just your natural mentality when it comes to the football field.
Yeah.
And I feel like he is. He's kind of like he was the he was the cream of the crop, if you will. He was at a smaller rate school when it comes to football, and he really excelled. So he has the opportunity to go to a bigger program and play in some much higher state games. I mean, the ACC is not huge when it comes to college football.
Nope.
So you get to go play independent for Notre Dame, but you're still going to go up against USC. You're still going to see Michigan State. You're going to see Ohio State. You're going to see who else do they have this year that's huge? There's two more.
I don't know if Clemson is on that again. I'm gonna pull it up here.
But there's two more big games.
I think it's so quick.
Right,
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, there's two more big games. Two more big games where we're going to be, looking at what is Notre Dame football with a quarterback that can truly read a defense. And I think that's going to be exciting to watch. Now, your Estime comment, I agree. I feel like he kind of, in a situation where he would normally put his shoulder down and run through a guy, or he would normally do something like to take on contact, I think he's trying to prolong his ability to stay healthy. And
he was hurt. He was hurt. I mean, what game was? I can't remember what game it was. He went out, but I don't know. He didn't look good today. So this year, big games. Obviously, Ohio State on September 23rd.
Yep.
USC, Pittsburgh's always going to be tough, and then Clemson, and then they actually play Wake Forest. So Hartman can go against his team from last year, and then Stanford, of course, at the end of the year.
We should go to a Notre Dame game this year.
We should spend $80 on parking and still walk 5 miles to where we want to go.
I'm glad that's the one thing you bring up. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Refer to the last episode.
Yeah. Anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, we referred to 2 episodes ago.
God's 4-wheeler. Whatever the fuck it was.
It was a 4-wheeler.
Oh, Jesus.
He's staring at me.
He's staring at it.
How's the little guy doing? Is he good?
Hi, Daddy.
Aw.
I'm like, dude,
Pulling at your heartstrings.
relax. Like, okay, Brad and I are coming over. We're bringing the mic. We're bringing the stuff.
Hey, just tell the wife, pull us up on YouTube. We're live.
Yeah, we're live. He can listen to us.
Right. Yeah, if Carter wants to watch us,
Yeah.
I don't think she wants him to see this.
No?
We got 4 on Facebook right now watching.
We do? I'm to 0. They're all Russian.
Russian sex bots. Say who it is?
No, I don't think so.
That would be cool.
Oh no, we lost one. Dean, are you the one that's on there?
I signed. Yeah, I signed off.
But yeah, so they got a. I wouldn't say they have a really tough schedule this year.
They still play. Don't they still play Michigan State this year?
No, no.
Okay.
They've got Navy.
Can you run down their games since you have it right there in front of you?
Yeah, yeah. So August 26th, they've got Navy at Notre Dame.
Okay.
September 2nd, Tennessee State.
So
September
maybe
9th.
State, okay.
Do what?
I was just repeating. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. September 9th, you got North Carolina State.
Okay.
September 16th, Central Michigan. September 23rd, Ohio State. September 30th, Duke at Duke. October 7th at Louisville. October 14th it's at Notre Dame, but it's USC. Pittsburgh on the 28th at home. November 4th at Clemson. So that'll be a tough game just because it's Clemson. And then November 18th, Wake Forest at home, which will be the last home game. And then November 25th at Stanford.
Hey, before you get to that, shout out to Ann Breedlove Burke.
Oh, hey, Mom. Thanks, Mom. Appreciate you, Mom.
She signed on her computer and her phone, so she's
two people.
two of the three
So
phones.
hey, listen. What?
Double dipping.
So that's five. That's 5 ACC games. You've got Clemson, Wake, Duke, Pitt, and NC State. That's 5.
Yeah.
That's weird to me.
1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I mean, so their basketball team is ACC, right?
Right. But they've
So
always
there's some kind of a they did some kind of agreement back when all that happened. That because I think if you
the
look,
football team had to play so many conference teams in the ACC.
yeah, I think that was the issue.
I mean, that's frustrating. I mean, I get why. I do. I understand it. Both from the ACC perspective and then also from Notre Dame's perspective. But I would much rather see them dump maybe the NC State and pick up maybe even if they just picked up, I don't know.
They need to get back to the Big Ten.
Give me
If
like
they
a
really-
yeah. You don't have to give me a Michigan, but like Michigan State again, or you know what I mean, like a Wisconsin. Like I would love to see them play a ground and pound school like Wisconsin, Iowa. Yeah, you're not wrong. I don't know. It's just interesting to me.
They had 4, 5 last year
Yeah.
as well. In 2021, it looks like they had one. Well, in 2021, they played Wisconsin, destroyed them, 41-13. Same thing, man. I think the last 5 years, maybe
Brady.
they did the 4 or 5 games in conference. So
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the ACC when it comes to football. I obviously, being a North Carolina basketball guy, I love the ACC and basketball, and I think football is going to come down to everybody says Power 5. I really think it's going to be like Power 3, maybe 4. You're going to have the Big Ten. You're going to have the SEC. You're going to have the ACC. You're probably going to have the Big 12. And that's it.
yeah,
So, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird how the football's going right now.
Not that I follow it enough, but what do you see like Pac-12 stuff from the West Coast doing?
I mean, they're all jumping ship. I mean, you've got 2 schools that are joining the Big 12 this year, and then 1 or 2 joining the Big 10 this year. Right?
Yeah, what is that? Is Oregon jumping ship?
I think Oregon's joining next. I think it's next. No, it might be this season.
They're going where? Big 12?
They're going Big 10.
Big Ten.
Yeah. Um, I'd have to look it up and see. Maybe you can, since you have the computer in front of you. Sorry to make you do all the work. But yeah, no, the Pac-12
so
is in essence they're folding.
yep. UCLA and USC are joining the Big Ten.
That's this year. Yeah.
I think
It's
okay,
this
I knew
year.
that.
So yeah, I thought Oregon was next year, but I wasn't sure.
7 teams that might be next to join. Let's see what they say. Yeah, Oregon's one. Washington Huskies, Florida State, Clemson, Stanford, Miami,
Well, what do you do when
California.
it's like when there's no reason to even have conferences anymore. Unless the NCAA on their own breaks it into like a north, south, east, and west, like almost like the NFL.
They would definitely need to do something bigger tournament wise. I mean,
Yeah,
Bigger?
yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
More
I think
teams.
I think. Well, there's 6 now.
Chad goes, Dean's drunk.
Who said that?
Chad,
Chad doesn't know me. Oh, Chad knows.
He don't know
not
me.
Chad. Hey,
That-
Chad. I'm not not yet. I was earlier. Dick.
he's got a cute yellow. What is that? A yellow construction shirt on.
Oh,
That was-
yeah. But they've already expanded it one time. Like seriously, like if you think about it, okay? MLB, right? They have the playoffs where it comes down. They have 2 divisions. They take it down from what is it? It goes from 10 to 8, and then this 8, it's 8, 4, and then 2.
That would be the right way to do
Yeah,
it.
8-4-2. I really think that you could do the same thing with college football. You could have your 4 to 5 conferences, and then you have. I mean, listen, you're still going to have conference tournaments. You don't have to make this thing the national title or the college football playoffs and make it 12 teams deep. You have the conference titles that then give way to lead to the ability to play for the national football college football trophy. I can't think of what the title is for it, but you have the ability to do that when you have smaller conferences. The issue right now is you get programs that are playing outside of the Power Five, like a BYU, or who was it a couple years ago that was undefeated going in North Dakota State back when you had what's his face at quarterback playing out there, right? It was like, you have all of these schools that have, excellent records, but they're against no shit named schools, so
Yeah.
you're playing nobodies. So I think that you can start to, it's a strength of schedule situation. You can start to look at a little bit more in depth on how good these programs are or are not. And to sit there and say, hey, we need to have 18, 12, whatever the number is you're looking for, that's fine, but you can never play more than one football game in a week. I mean, you just can't.
No, I mean even Sunday or whatever to Thursday is not conducive.
It's
to
not
NFL,
safe.
so,
It's
no.
not safe.
No, you can't.
So, you're asking these schools to do all this, and I just don't think that I don't think it's one, manageable, and I don't think it two, is intelligent. I think the best thing for them to do is to break it down into those 4 conferences. Again, Big 10, Big 12, your SEC, and your ACC. You've got 4 conferences, right? You take the top 2 schools out of that, right? Whoever plays, you get the regular season winner. They get a bye into the tournament, and then whoever wins the tournament gets an automatic placement into there. And whether they take the regular season champ or they take the number 2 in the tournament, I don't really honestly have a opinion one way or another how it works. But I think that there's a systematic way of being able to do it to where you can make it 8 teams, still make it safe, and you can still produce the best kind of football possible.
Well, what happens when
Yep.
like what is it? How many Division I teams are there? 100,
Oh,
116,
Christ.
130.
Yeah, at least.
So what
Yeah, I
happens
think it's
when- what happens
130
when
plus.
all of them want to be in one of those 4 conferences, and then
Well, I think you get into a lot of the same things that you have now with your D1, D2 schools. You just almost like have relegation and you have promotion and everything else. I mean, if you have schools that aren't able to meet certain criteria, you see it when you get I don't think either of you really watch soccer, but you get into it
Oh.
when you are in like in the
Foot-
EPL or in what's that?
I said football.
Football. You get into it when you get into these European football leagues where you have clubs that they can rise and they can fall each year based off of their ability to win games, and also some of it is their ability to pay players to be able to win those games. So I think you're going to inevitably have. I think you're always
top tier
you're always going to have those schools.
50.
Yeah.
50 that
So
is.
if you want to have what is it? It's not the NCAA tournament. It's the NIT. If you want to have an NIT tournament for all those schools that are sub so many students or that hit a certain criteria, if you want to have the next 10 or 12 teams play for the NIT and football, and then there's another tournament below that one now that basketball teams play for. So I mean, you could do something like that and still break it down.
Yeah, if teams still wanted to, continue their season, I mean,
Yeah,
you could still break it up into the Rose Bowl, the Orange Bowl, the Cotton Bowl. You can still do that. They would just be lower tier bowls,
yeah,
and those bowls would have playoffs as well.
yeah.
Or if those bowls were all in the playoff system, it's like the first, like once you get down to the top 16, you're playing for these bowls, and then maybe the top 8 you're playing for these bowls. I don't know. I don't know shit about it.
In my opinion, honestly, college football fucked themselves when they went to a football playoff. I think the best thing that they could have done was have a selection committee that would place teams into these certain bowls, and then they deemed these bowls, 1 versus 2. It was the Rose Bowl this year, so 1 versus 2 was the Rose Bowl. The Orange Bowl was 3 versus 4. Cotton Bowl was 5 versus 6, and so on and so forth. They didn't allow for this. Okay, well we've got 4 teams now. Let's expand to 8 teams. Now let's wait. Like
No,
we
you
can
don't
probably why couldn't we do 12 teams? Well, the next year, why can't we do 20 teams? Like we can take this, an extra 2 or 3 weeks into the college break, winter break, whatever you want to say, after the first of the year and on.
Midterms.
Well, I'm just saying, like you really opened up the door to have so many more people be like, okay, well let's expand this a little more. Let's expand this. I mean, they did it with college basketball. Why the hell did we ever go away from 64?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why is it now 68? Like that just. Because we needed to include 4 more teams? No.
Playing games.
I mean, and the playing games are about as exciting as watching preseason baseball, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, most of the time, obviously, you're having 2 16-team games. So you're having 4 16s play.
Mm-hmm.
And the chances of them winning obviously have grown over the last handful of years, but the chances of them winning are still, exponentially smaller than any other team. The other team you have is a 12, so you have a 12 seed playing in. Still, odds on dog in the fight to win that game. Again, I just look at it like it's just a reason to give. It's a reason to give more advertisement and more publicity and more money, right?
I blacked out. Sorry.
At least you're honest.
I don't like it's fucking dead. Sorry. I agree.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I think that I guess this kind of falls into another area, and your kids aren't old enough. Yours are just starting to get there, but like this whole area or this whole era of forcing people to reward anybody and everybody for participating, and I look at it like, the best of the best don't ever need to be told that they're the best. They just know it, right? They can go out, they perform their abilities on the floor, on the field, whatever it is, outshine every single other person out there. If you have to walk off and be handed something to feel like you were justified in your ability to be there, like you're not a superstar. You're not a true competitor.
I think it's tough too because college is becoming so much more close to professional.
Mm-hmm.
High school is getting so much more elite that there's more leagues. It's becoming so much closer to professional or closer to college. And then, like, everything's just moving up. And there's more leagues when you're little. And it's just everything's expanding.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to get better.
No, it's not. And I mean, like, I don't know how much you see it now that, Carter's just starting to play. And sorry if I said his name, I'm not supposed to, but he's just starting to play sports.
I know his name. What the
Well, no, I know, but the people on here.
Chad, don't say his name.
Anyways, what I was saying
Sorry.
is, you just get into a situation where it's like, okay, if my kid goes to a baseball tournament,
Right.
or if Kylie goes to a gymnastics meet, right, and she doesn't get a ribbon, like you're creating this culture of like, well, did I?
She's disappointed. And
Yeah, I didn't. What did I do wrong? I failed. I did this, and it's like, no, like you just didn't win. Like you don't get something unless you win,
right.
and that should be okay. But when you have 90% of the time it happens, and the other 10% of the time it doesn't, it's creating this like super confusing situation for a lot of kids. And I don't know, man. I just look at it like we put ourselves in a position to support and sponsor mediocrity, and I'm not a fan of that.
Well, it's hard for parents too because it's like, okay, Carter likes, baseball and basketball. It's like, okay, I want to as much as I can, and he wants to do it. I'm like, okay, you can do it, but you got to understand that there's going to be a point in time where you're not going to make the team.
Yep.
And it's like I will support everything I can for whatever means we have and whatever time we have to let you go do it.
Right.
I will play with you or help as much as I can, but there's a point in time when you get above, little league to where it's not just me and you playing in the backyard.
Right.
It's you've got to go against the other kids. If the other kids are better than you, either you better work your ass off, or, you're not going to.
Yeah.
That's it.
I had a very similar conversation with Brady. So Brady is, he's 7th grade this year. First year he could try out for basketball. And he wanted to go out for the team. And I told him last year, I was like, listen, bud, you go to one of the largest schools in Fort Wayne, one of the largest schools in Indiana, really.
Yeah.
And you're going to have a tough time. One, you're small. Like he is. He's not a big kid. He hasn't hit his growth spurt. I didn't hit mine until I was between my senior year of high school and my my senior year of high school and my freshman year of college.
40.
And so I'm like, I'm looking at him. I'm like, one, you're small, and two, you just don't practice enough. Like that's the thing. Like it doesn't come simple. It doesn't come easy.
Well, it's
What?
No, I was just gonna say, I agree. Part of that. I mean, we see athletes that, size really isn't the factor, but
Yeah.
at that age, though, I kind of agree. So
you think about it's interesting too. Thinking like the big school, like you got to weed through all these kids, but then I'm gonna go back to Jay Cutler because he's the fucking goat, but But
He
listen,
looks
guy
like
to
one.
ever
Is
play
what you mean.
football on the sideline smoking a cigarette, maybe a joint. It might have been a joint.
it's badass.
I think that
But
was
like
a meme.
he could have gone to college to play basketball, baseball, or football, I think, but coming out of a small school. So, given a small school, you've got the opportunity to play all those sports. You don't have the competition,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you can excel in all of them, and you differentiate yourself. To whereas, like at a Northwest Allen, you've got 1,000 kids in a. I don't know if it's 1,000 kids in the class, but there's only 22 that are going to start on the football team.
Yeah.
There's only 9 that are going to start on the baseball team. There's only 5.
Well, this just tells you. So, the Carroll baseball team, I think it was this last season. If it wasn't this last season, it was the season just prior to that. They had 135 kids come out for the team
Jeez.
Are you
Baseball?
serious?
for baseball.
Was
135.
that all high school
Yeah, it was all high school, but they only keep 30.
for varsity
No,
or for?
for JV varsity. I don't know if they have a
Wow.
freshman squad.
So how
But-
does it work? Because where I grew up, we had a JV, a varsity, and if we had enough kids come out, there was the freshman team, C team, whatever they want to call
Right.
it.
Right.
So how does it work up here with the bigger schools?
Well, that's the thing. Like, I don't know if they had a freshman team. I know they had a varsity, and I know they had a JV.
Yeah.
When I was in school, we did the same thing as what you said. We had a varsity, we had a JV, and we had a freshman team. And actually, the freshman team, we had 2. Because our freshman class was huge, and we had a very, very, very talented freshman class.
Yeah.
So it was almost like a farm system, if you will, for the JV and the varsity teams.
Yeah.
But I don't know how it is up here, honestly. I mean, I already know of a few parents. I know of one kid. He's a 14-year-old lefty. Kid can throw in the mid 80s right now, and he's transferring. He's going to a different school because he's like, I want to be able to play baseball.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, talent will take you a long way, but unfortunately, when it comes to high school, sometimes it's just who the fuck you know,
Yeah.
and that's just not fair.
I hate that transferring
I do
thing,
too.
especially in. I hate it in high school, and then I hate the portal.
Yeah, I really hate the
portal's just
college portal.
freaking stupid.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, but now you're going to start seeing schools that you never saw. I mean, case in point, I mean, yeah, UConn spanked the shit out of them, but I mean, San Diego State, that Fair Dickinson, God, who was the other one? FAU, Florida Atlantic.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, they have no business being in there, but why were they in there? I mean, I'm sure the portal had something to do with that,
oh no, absolutely. I mean, the one thing that I will say, and I do feel like NCAA has gotten a lot more level when it comes to. You don't see, the blue bloods, the Kansas, the Kentuckys, the North Carolinas, the Dukes, the Michigans, those schools that would like annually have 1 or 2 kids that would jump and go from college to the NBA. They would just declare.
Yeah.
Those teams were always in the Elite Eight, at least, a lot of times the Final Four, right? This was the first year, and I don't remember the statistic, but this is the first year in a long time that you didn't have Duke, Kansas, North Carolina, or there was one other school. Kentucky, maybe that's who it was, in the Elite Eight. In the Elite Eight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let alone the Final Four. And so it's just, you start to see where some of this seniority, or at least this continuity within programs, can truly develop and grow a school. Now, that being said, yes, you're going to get transfers. They're going to come in, and they're going to change the landscape of a team, and they're going to help them.
Yeah.
But I still truly do believe at the end of the day, basketball is one of those sports where you have to have so much knowledge of how your teammates play in order to be successful. Dean's eating gushers.
I know. Keep cracking me up.
Hey, he's home. Uber. I ain't mad at him.
I got 2 more packs here, Braden. I'll send them through the.
Hey,
stratosphere.
I'll send Uber Eats over to pick it up for me.
While I'm at it.
So the whole time Brad's talking, you just hear.
What was that candy there, Braden? What was that candy?
Huh? It's not candy. It's just a Post-it note.
Oh, okay. All right. I was just gonna say you're getting off that little meat train.
No, I'm not.
Good.
You
It's
shut
awkward.
your mouth. Don't you put those
Gotta
words
stay on the
in.
meat train.
Stay on the meat train, man.
Dude,
I had Brad. Hey, yeah, Brad. You want to
We
tell?
didn't talk about this on our show last time, right? It was on when you and I were on.
The last show we did. Yes, we talked about it when Dean
Meat
wasn't on.
train?
Yeah.
I got
So,
it.
so Braden, I don't know. I mean, I don't know the last time you saw him.
What,
But-
Dean? You didn't listen to our last show?
He didn't listen to our
What
last
a
show.
I
Yeah.
did, but I tried to get in the same mood that I was in the prior show. So I don't remember shit.
Dean's sitting there
All about
watching it, falling
consistency,
asleep,
bro.
and all of a sudden, just bam, phone hits him in the face. He's passed out.
I know that the only thing I remember about that show is that you guys were there.
Hey, I will say, so Chad just said he had to work his ass off as a freshman to make to Norwell at varsity in 07. And he's not wrong. I mean, like I said, the baseball team that we had at Norwell from the time that I started until the graduating year, my year of 03, which they won state. I was not a part of the team then. And then
Hashtag
until
go
he
Knights.
played. What's that?
Right, Knights.
Knights, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he played, and he graduated with, Jarek Parker. Trying to think who else
yeah.
was there. Yeah. He had a couple of guys that could have probably gone pretty far, Chad being
Yeah.
one of them, honestly. But yeah, no, he's not wrong. Listen, hard work. I tell Brady that every day. I say, well, what did you do today to make yourself a better baseball player? And 9 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10, he says, and I say, well, that gives me an answer right there, right?
Yeah.
But you have to be willing to do something. He has started to really focus on his health and his work ethic. So he runs. So he's doing track already, but he's wanting to go to the gym and start working out. He's wanting to do strength conditioning, strength training.
Yeah.
He's monitoring, for the most part, what he eats. But it's still all about what kind of mechanics you have when it comes to the craft that you have on the field. And I mean, I don't know
Maturity
how it was.
comes into play though too.
What's that?
Maturity.
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I was a decent baseball player growing up too, and I really didn't. I played since I was, coach's pitch all the way through. I was not. I didn't do very well probably freshman year, but sophomore year things started to click, and then I broke my hand, so then I was out. But between sophomore and junior year, like I was doing anything and everything, throwing the baseball out with dad or going to open gyms at 5:30 in the morning. We in Wabash we had a company called GNS Metals, which I don't think they're called GNS anymore. They're called something else, but they had they built a facility out there for like indoor practices and stuff like that. It's kind of like a mini plex,
Okay.
like we have here in Fort Wayne or OPS or but that was the one thing that I think pushed my we had that resource to use, so I feel like that pushed me, it pushed our team to be able to go and do stuff in the off season. Now we couldn't, with the whole IHSAA rules about organized stuff. So we as players got together and did it ourselves.
Right.
So, but it's one of those things where if you have the resources and you have the people that want to take the time to do it, put in that time, tea stations, um, we got the little wiffle golf balls, and then we
Oh
had
yeah.
like a broomstick,
Yep.
and then we would hit those. Um, a lot of tea stations, though. I mean, that tea stations, I think, helped our team my junior year. I mean, baseball, it comes down to a team sport, and but like with Brady, your son, he's going to get there, and it's going to come down to how bad does he really want it. I mean, does he have the ambition to want to go to the next level, or is this like, hey, I just want to go, I want to play with my friends, I want to do that kind of thing. That's fine, but then you got to be okay with the outcome.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, and conversely, like the one thing that I've preached to my kids, and them obviously being the older two, but I'm like, listen, if you want to do it, like Dean said, if you want to do it, I will put all of my resources into giving you everything that I can to make you as successful as possible.
yeah,
However, if you don't want to do it, you're not going to disappoint me, right? You're not going to, I was a baseball player, but if Brady doesn't play baseball in high school, I'm not going to be mad at him, right?
Yeah.
Cooper has no interest in baseball. I'm not mad at him, right? At the same time, I'm also not going to invest, one, financially, and then two, time, to which I'm like, hey, I'm going to give up my Saturday, Sunday to go and travel to Kendallville or travel to, Ohio to watch you play when you're not even practicing throughout the week. You know what I mean?
They're uninvested.
So yeah, exactly. They're not
Yeah.
invested. I cannot, as a parent, I cannot be more invested in your sport than what you are.
right. Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't know. I mean, like, how was it with football? I mean, like, did you feel like you had, because nowadays, like, kids have flag football, 7-on-7, all these different things. Like, did you guys have that growing up? Like, did you have the
No,
ability
and,
to
and
practice?
I tell
Dean just checked the pH levels in the water. What do you mean you played football?
whatever the fuck you just said. Yes.
The pH levels in the water. You were the water boy, right? High quality H2O.
One more time for the people in the back, Braden. I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Sorry, you were breaking up a little bit.
Oh, okay.
No,
Yeah,
you were breaking up.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yes, whatever you just said. Yes.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, like, we didn't. When I started playing, I loved football, but I didn't start playing organized football until 7th grade because that's when we had it in middle school.
Okay.
And I never played like flag football. I never played any of that stuff. I went to a 7-on-7 camp with my high school, but that was it. There was nothing else. And my thing is like Carter, he is an athlete. He's going to be an athlete. He throws a football very well. He throws a baseball very well. But he's like, I don't want to play football.
Yeah.
I'm like, good enough. But he still wants to play catch with me in the yard.
Yeah.
Which
Which
I'm
is
all right,
fine.
cool.
Yeah, which is fine.
But I'm like, if you don't want to play football, it might pull at me a little bit. But I'm like, okay. Football's not what it used to be. It's not. I mean, it is the 7-on-7s. It's.
Yeah.
I hate the year round. You've got to focus on one sport year round. I hate that stuff.
Yeah. And that's the hard part for my son right now. He
'Cause
wants to do, so he's doing track. Yeah, he wants to do track now. He's in baseball and he's doing flag football. And I'm like, bro, you have to understand, like on Sunday, if you have a baseball tournament or a baseball game and you have a flag football game, baseball's going to come first. And there's no reason other than the fact that baseball costs more than flag football.
Yeah.
I mean, and you're going to do full contact football in the fall with the school. Like, you're going to be playing football in 4 months from now anyways.
I mean, those new flags. I mean, they can be pricey.
They can be, but
They would be.
yeah.
Yeah, your guys' video is kind of like all fuzzy.
Yours is as well. I gotta carry Taylor upstairs. Be right back.
Yep, no worries.
You got Dean for about 10 minutes. Nah, 5.
I'm just gonna sit here and do nothing.
Yeah.
No, I think when Brad, I don't know if Brad would back me up on this or not, but coming into like a 6th, 7th grade kid, I wish that schools would, and coaches, and it's probably mostly parents. I'm like, if parents would just push kids to work out, lift weights, and get into like, and you probably had it. You had probably had the bigger, faster, stronger workout program.
Yeah, the BFS. Yeah.
Yes, that is the
Yep.
like when you're 6th, 7th grade through like maybe sophomore, junior year of high school. That's the only workout program you need. If you're doing great in a sport, then yes, differentiate, do that one-off stuff. But to get stronger, that's all you need.
Yeah.
And then once you get into college and you're doing a sport and you specialize, then specialize. But I just think it's, parents want to say, okay, I think my kid's going to be a basketball player, and then at like 3rd grade they just throw them in basketball and they specialize in that, but they're not going to work on doing things that are going to make them a better overall athlete.
Yeah.
And that's my opinion.
Well, and not to rain on, some parents, but a lot of those parents didn't play that sport.
Well, and that's the thing too. It's like, okay, I wanted to be, or I went to a small school and, I was just, I played football and now you should play football and you should be the best. And so I'm going to put all my money into this and
or yeah, like
blah,
you,
blah,
like
blah.
just like you said, or it's like the opposite way. Like they were so hardcore about it when they were, in school, and then they're wanting to force their kids into doing it.
Right.
Then they resent them. Then they turn
Well,
off.
even I went to like Carter's practice at Wallen. Right. Well, I went to Carter's practice, like baseball practice at Wallen the other day. It's like, do I want to help the kids and like say, hey, oh yeah, I do. But guess what? I didn't sign up to be a coach. The coaches are volunteers. Go do it. You guys are fine.
Yeah.
It's like, there's a fine line. It's just tough as a parent. It's tough as a coach. It's
And
not any easier to navigate, and it's not getting any easier.
Yeah, and if it ever comes down to it that my boys want to start playing sports, I mean, I will have a hard time sitting there keeping my mouth shut.
Yeah, and I did,
mean,
and I'm like I'm sitting behind there watching Carter like batting, and I'm like, there's things I'm like, okay, we'll talk about it at home. If he wants to hit at home and do off a tee, we'll talk about it then. But
Yeah.
right now with his coach, let his coach handle it. It does suck, but it's like, I didn't sign up for being a coach, so I'm not my place to do it.
Yeah, but I mean, my parents still gave me pointers and stuff,
Yeah,
when I was doing stuff.
Yeah, and I think that's perfectly fine. I don't ever want to be that one that's like, I'm going to show up the coach.
Yeah.
It's just not. It's not worth it to me. It's not worth embarrassing my kid for. What are you looking for?
It's looking for my phone charger because my phone's about to die. But I don't have
Uh-oh.
one. Hold on a second.
You're frozen on us too.
Wonderful. Ah. Am I still frozen? Am I still frozen?
No,
D?
you're not now. You're good.
Okay. I don't know what's
No,
going
you're
on.
good. You're kind of spotty though on it.
Yeah, I wonder if it's because I'm on Wi-Fi. Because my Wi-Fi, I think when Brad and I have done shows in the past, it worked better when I was not on Wi-Fi. Because I've got, my father-in-law's here, my wife is upstairs. Using Wi-Fi. I'm sure using the streaming services on the TVs and stuff. It's causing issues too.
Right.
But I can't really control that.
Oh,
Just a natural athlete. See it? That just.
Did you guys see those cat-like reflexes?
sorry, I had to lay the little one down. Braden,
All right.
cheers.
Cheers. Here's my seltzer water.
And Chad, and
And
the
Chad.
other
Is
followers.
Chad still in
And the
there?
other followers that we have.
We had a well, you guys know Chad Happel that went with us. He jumped on there for a little bit.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate everybody that's jumped on and kind of watched us a little bit but
Try to figure this thing out while we figure it out.
something like that.
Oh man. So I'm thinking about. I don't know what you guys are talking about, but I'm going to completely interrupt. But I'm thinking about. So you have a pit boss, and you have a Traeger.
Yeah.
Traeger pellet style.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm thinking about taking the pit boss competition blend, right?
Yep.
Which is like the most widely used one. And I'm going to create, if you will. By the way, we're not sponsored by White Claw, but I'm drinking them. Just in case you do
Shout out to Claws of Law.
Like the internet,
Right.
or-
Shout out to the Claws. But
If
but I'm
you
thinking,
want to sponsor the program,
yeah. You want to sponsor these merry bunch of morons? That'd be awesome.
Get an email in my inbox. It's like from White Claw.
But yeah, no, I'm thinking about taking the competition blend, and I'm thinking.
Dude, there's such a lag now. I think we're having connection issues.
for us too, to you. Yeah.
There is.
I don't know what's going on. Oh well.
Look at my. Yeah. I mean, I'm in the room where my router is, so if I'm having any issues, I don't know why, but. But no, what I'm thinking about doing is like basically taking that competition blend, and I want to mix, like make one with like a very heavy like apple, and so I'm going to use the apple pellets with it, and kind of make my own mixture, if you will. I want to do one with the pecan. I also have the cherry, and I think that as I start to really get into utilizing the pit boss for everything it can do. It can obviously do everything from smoking something as long as 18 to 20 hours to searing a steak on it. I think playing with that a little bit will be a very interesting process.
And so, I guess, what are you trying to do though? Like,
I'm taking the competition blend pellets.
yeah.
And I'm mixing in the apple pellets, and I'm making like my own mixture, if you will. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
You seem super intrigued by all of that.
Well, I mean, there's a reason why it's separated. I mean,
Why?
You got to keep it separated.
you gotta keep it separated. No, I mean, it just depends on like what kind of flavor. I really don't think the different flavors. I really can't taste the big difference in between whether I use
Really?
if I use competition blend or if I use apple. Now, if you throw lump charcoal or lump pieces of wood and you smoke it with that, I can
Like
tell.
briquettes or something.
Yeah, like briquettes or
Shut
just
TV, Chelsea, Chelsea.
what's it called? Just like the different
We can't.
wood chunks.
Wait a minute here.
I don't know if it's mine or not. But...
You got it. You got us now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, you're really lagged.
That's fun.
I think I think it's better now.
Is it more? Is that better?
Little.
It's close.
Yeah. That was a long pause, so I'm going to say no. It's not better.
Yeah, we can definitely see your mouth moving before or after.
You're an idiot.
Yes, I am.
That was better. That was better.
Yeah, I think you're on that. It might have been those.
Might have been those.
But here, and to get on that blend, I only use the Traeger, like, whatever their one blend is, that's all I use for everything.
Yeah. But Brad, you're talking about pellets, right? Not like the wood chunks.
Right.
Okay. Because see, I've only noticed on the wood chunks, whether it's apple or hickory or cherry or whatever, then I can tell a difference in, whatever we're cooking. But I've tried the different pellets. It's not something that's big enough for me to, like, I have to have apple with pork or,
Right.
Okay.
So
you're not picking up, because like when I had my big barrel style smoker and I was using the lump, like the wood chunks, if you will.
yeah.
I was actually using that on my lump coal. I could pick up, I could smell, I don't want to say
Absolutely.
feel, but like I could actually like taste the fruit when it comes to the apple or the
Yep.
cherry, or if it was like a good like a mesquite burn that I was doing, like I could actually taste that as I bit into it. You don't notice that. And again, I haven't messed with it on the Pit Boss enough. I've only used the competition blend so far.
Yeah.
I couldn't, but I've only done. I started with one, like, Traeger pellet in there, and then I moved to like their signature blend,
Okay.
and that's all I've ever used.
Okay.
So I wouldn't know, but
Yeah.
So
And
Brad,
I've
what
only
are you
done
trying
this-
to get at? What are you trying to get out of it though? Like, are you just want to have like Skittles in your mouth when you eat pork or
Yeah.
something, or
I taste the fucking rainbow.
gotcha.
But no, like
we're not sponsored by Gushers either yet.
yet.
Yes.
But no, like when I do, like if I do the turkey over Thanksgiving, or if I do like a pretty good sized pork shoulder, pork butt, whatever, and I want to incorporate apple into that, or I'll try and do like a fruit wood blend when I do my turkey on Thanksgiving. So I'll try
Yeah.
and do cherry, apple, try and put a little bit of maybe like hickory in there. Just make it a little bit, give it a little bit of a different, distinct taste. I could always do that. I could always manipulate it on the other grill, because I could put my my various woods in there and they would just burn.
Yeah.
But it doesn't sound like that is in essence how the Pit Boss pellets work.
Yeah. I think the best thing to do if you really want to do that, because in my opinion, when you're using pellets, you're just using it for fuel source. If you really want the smoke, you got to get a smoker box, and you put that in your in your Pit Boss, like inside the barrel.
Well,
Not
like
not in the hopper.
cylinder?
Yeah, it's like a cylinder.
Like on
Yeah.
the rack
Yeah, and you burn
next
one
to
end.
whatever I'm smoking.
Yep, put it on one end,
Okay.
because you're gonna have it flow through. So you want it to go through the meat.
Yeah, so you want to go back across.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I mean, I think that'll work better than trying to mix all these different pellets, because in a
Okay.
sense. Those pellets, I feel like it's just a fuel source. If you really want the smoke flavor, get the smoker, the smoke box or whatever, and then you can
Yeah,
buy.
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So, and then you just put all that stuff in the smoke box, light one. I mean, obviously you wet it down and everything, and then you light one end and then let it go through and it'll smoke. I feel like you'll get better flavor that way than you would putting it through the hopper.
Well, especially if you know especially if you put it on the one side. So the smoker that I have, it's not like a reverse flow or anything like that, right? It all comes out of the hopper side, goes down, it drops into the little pot.
This is small.
Yeah, and then it burns and then it escapes up and then goes in essence right out. I would love for it to like kind of like backflow that smoke so it comes across it, but it's not a reverse flow type smoker. But if I get that smoke box and I put it on the left side, opposite of the vent, then I can at least get the smoke to kind of flow
Yep.
across the meat.
It'll
and go
it'll
out that
naturally do that
way. Okay.
because
I need to look into this smoke box thing then, because I mean, I will say that I can notice without a doubt. I can notice when I have different types of wood, on the
wood
different
or
meats that I.
wood or pellets.
Pellets.
No,
Pellets.
I'm using pellets now, but what I'm saying is like when I was using wood like the wood chunks,
Yes, yes,
I could taste that in the meat.
correct. Yeah.
I've only used the Pit Boss since Thanksgiving, and I was happy, if you will, with the turkey the way that it turned out. It was fine,
Did you spatchcock
but
it?
I would let, huh?
Did you spatchcock it?
No,
You didn't spatchcock the turkey?
nope, I've never done that. I just cook it whole,
Okay.
just the way that it is. And then I saw that bird. She's gorgeous.
The bird. What?
I don't
Yeah,
gobble
turkey.
gobble gobble. I don't glug glug glug.
I say if you want the flavor, go to a green egg.
Yeah, and the green egg, the green egg that I have is great.
Say that again.
Nothing. Don't worry about it, Dean.
Nice. That's what I thought.
The
He didn't say anything.
Oh.
Clearly.
green egg that I have,
He's leaving. He's out of here. He's like, I don't.
the green
talk
egg that I
shit
have
about
is
green
good.
egg. Dude, it's
I
too
have
small.
Yeah, it's
but
small.
You had brats on the egg.
Yeah, I had brats on your
And
egg, and
they're-
those were good. What are you opening up there? A little bubbly?
It's called a blue raspberry pop seltzer water.
Kroger bubbly?
Yeah, but it's like, it tastes like the. Oops.
That's not in the camera. There you go.
It tastes like the the old.
It
rock
tastes like
pop-
fucking freedom, red, white, and blue.
You want a
Yeah,
seltzer
straight.
or what? You want a seltzer?
Yeah, it seltzer, but it tastes like the rocket pop popsicles. But
The old
it's just
bomb
seltzer
pops.
water. It's really good.
So I think we should do the first episode when we're all in the same room is the episode when we all bring a case of beer and just
Get naked.
go. If that happens, it happens. But just go.
Sorry,
And-
Braden's mom, if you're listening.
Right. And Chad, if you want to join, you're welcome to join.
Yes.
Chad's on his way already.
Yes.
They were some comments in here that are saying that everything looks good on their end, so it must just be a lag between us and not.
Which is frustrating because we didn't have this issue with StreamYard.
We did a couple times, but it's been a while. It was like early on when we first started StreamYard a year ago.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go back and watch this through and see if we have some of the same things. But yeah, I don't like the idea of, you and I talking or you and Dean talking, and
I like that idea actually.
We can't get out what we're trying to say because we're paused so long to get
To
feedback.
answer.
Or like there was 2 or 3 times where you said something and we threw in like literally like an artificial laugh because you're laughing and I'm like, haha, it must have been funny. but I have no idea what the fuck you said.
I didn't do an official.
He blacked out, so
He
it's
blanked
fine.
out.
I'm blacked out right now.
But yeah, I think it would be better for you to do the lump pieces of wood instead of the different pellets.
Nobody cares about what the internet speed is. Just do lump charcoal.
Yeah. I mean, that's the and maybe that's the way that you're supposed to go. Like maybe that's why they do these blends, is because maybe the apple or the pecan or the whatever has the competition blend with the quote unquote flavoring built into it. But I think the smoke box would be the way that I would want to go, because I do want to be able to manipulate the different types of meat. Because I think there's times where, like I want a steak to taste very much like, I mean, the last one I did was like a hickory. Like I just want it to be a very woody type steak. But then the last one that I did, sorry, that was 2 ago. The last one that I did was cherry. And that was great. It was fine. But it needed a little bit more like char to it almost, to give it a little bit more of like a woodsy like bark to it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Either way, I think it's so much fun to be able to like go in and just dance around different ways to prepare food and make it taste good for the families and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, like tonight, I mean, I still have apple pellets in mine right now just because when I first got my smoker, I bought a bag of apple, a bag of hickory, bag of cherry, and then the competition blend. And
Yeah.
I honestly, I can't tell a difference. But
And you're talking flavor, you're
I'm
talking
talking-
taste, smoke.
well, you get the
grease.
smoky flavor, obviously,
Flavor
but
and
I'm
taste.
saying like when I'm biting into pulled pork or something, I don't taste the apple.
Okay. So when you had the apple pellets, you could taste the apple flavor.
No.
Okay. Say that one more time then, because I got lost there.
On what part? Are you
Well,
blacking
you
out
said
now?
you couldn't taste the apple.
I couldn't taste like the hard apple taste and the pulled
So had
pork.
you experienced that before?
In pellets?
Yes.
No, I've never tasted the difference when I use pellets.
Okay.
The only time I notice the difference is when I use the big lump pieces of wood
Okay.
or the wood chunks.
I didn't realize you had that style before you got the pellet.
Well, I used that on my 22-inch kettle, Weber kettle for charcoal.
Oh, okay.
And then I would just wet those pieces of wood down, throw them in the
Yeah.
charcoal, and let those burn through.
Yeah.
But I have not tested that with my Pit Boss though,
Okay.
using a smoke box. But I've heard if you want more of that flavor of cherry, hickory, whatever,
Yeah.
to use the chunks of wood instead of changing the pellets. And some people, I mean, you might be able to taste it. You might be able to take a bite and get that apple, cherry, and hickory all in one bite. But I don't have a strong palate to be able to differentiate the different flavors when I'm eating pulled pork. Or
I don't be,
whatever.
and part of mine is probably because of what I put on the meat too. Like the rub I put on and that, I'm not looking for an apple flavor profile. I'm putting a certain rub on that, and I'm just trying to get the smoke coming through the smoker.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the that's the really unique part about doing all of this. It's funny how we're using technology to take us back to our roots, right? Like that's kind of what we're doing.
Right.
Like you could have just gone out and fucking put twigs up together, made a pyramid, put a fire, hung some meat over the top of it, put some
Hell
apples
yeah.
on there, and just fucking you could have made your fucking meal.
Yeah.
Doing all of it.
Now we go out.
Write that down.
Now we go out and we spend $1,000 on a grill, on a cover, on the pellets, and on the meat, just to get the same thing that we could have done if we would have just gone out back, 120 years ago,
David Crockett did it.
and just shot whatever we wanted to and just made that up. So that is one of the reasons why I'm getting into hunting so much, is because there's nothing more that excites me than tracking, sitting, taking down an animal, field dressing it, getting it prepared. You're fine, you got clearance. Getting it field dressed, preparing it, getting it to the butcher, all those things. And then, you know what?
What, Brad?
I get to put a full-on meal in front of my family and said, I brought this to the table. Like, bro, I didn't go to Kroger and buy this, right? I didn't go to Jameson's or Walmart or Meijer or Costco or Sam's Club, wherever you buy your meat. I don't care. This came from the iron sights of Brad freaking James, and I brought this you to the table, and you guys are gonna eat it.
Iron sights.
I mean,
Iron Sights fun.
You can
Not
say
really.
you can say fucking if you want to.
trying to be nice. His mom's watching.
Okay.
I don't know if she's on still,
I hope not.
but
Not that I don't want her to watch, but I'm just like, I just want to fucking say fucking.
say it.
But no, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's something prideful about that, right? It's just like, listen.
Let it out.
It is the reason why, as males, we are inherently driven to be the providers for our families. And we can't do it from a go out and hunt and bring home supper over our shoulders every night, right? So what else can we do? Well, we can go out and we can bust our asses. Braden, I know you drive 60, 70 hours a week. Dean, I know you put in a fuckload of time. Now, I know you're transitioning right now. But you have put in your years of service. You have.
Let's be honest.
You have. You've put in your time, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you are the breadwinner in the family when it comes to work, right? And, it's the same reason that I'm in sales. Like, I want to go out. I want to be able to do my job. Because at the end of the day, like, I don't want my family to have to need, want, desire anything. And that's the reason why I'm like, man, what else can I do? Right? I already do ABC. How can I fulfill the rest of this void?
How can you get that D? Is what you're saying, Brad?
Right. I need to get that D.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hands up. Face down.
Hey.
I mean, to me, that doesn't entice me to want to go spend a whole day out in freezing ass cold just to take down a deer. But I mean,
Why?
I'm so impatient, Braden, that if I was sitting there for 7 minutes and didn't see anything, I'd be like, fuck this. Somebody else can have mine.
Have you guys seen that skit with Bill Enville and his wife taking his wife deer hunting?
Mm-mm.
If you haven't seen it, Bill Enville is a part of the redneck comedy with Jeff Foxworthy.
It was the Blue Collar Comedy Tour.
Yes, Blue Collar Comedy Tour. Thank you. And that he talked about taking his wife deer hunting, and I honestly would be like his wife, just sitting there like, when's he supposed to show up? I don't know. He didn't respond to, I
texted him an hour ago. He didn't answer me.
Yeah, he didn't answer.
Yeah. No, so I've been hunting regularly for 3 years now.
Yeah.
I have seen, and I know my face is in the corner of the camera. Sorry, but I have seen eight deer,
Eight
but
years.
I have yet to get a shot on one.
I mean, I used to duck hunt, but
Well, yeah. I mean, did you not eat it?
I mean, we did, but there's not much on there.
Yeah, but it's still something it's still something you fucking killed.
Yeah.
Like you put this fucking food in front of yourself.
And it could be different because since I haven't gone and done it and been successful in doing it, if I ever did decide to go out and hunt and I bring home a deer, I probably would feel like, fuck yeah,
I mean, I don't understand.
This is the part where Braden's like, "You guys are getting too."
I don't understand why. When I was growing up, I mean, we live in
Indiana.
rural Midwest America, right?
Yeah.
And I just don't understand. Like, I go up to Wisconsin when I travel, and it's like dads and moms and kids. I mean, it's legitimately a religion when you go 6 hours from here.
Yeah.
And it's not here, and I just don't know what is different. That's just what's so weird to me. It doesn't make sense to me. We have just as much vast open land, and yet we don't prioritize it the same way that they do.
Well, because we don't, because we're by a metro area. It.
Do you think that's what it is?
Yeah.
So do you
It
think
was
that
different when, like, where I was in high school. It was, I mean, FFA day where you drive your tractor to school was a lot different than it is here or even Angola or Garrett or Butler.
Okay.
It's a lot different. Just more rural America. I mean, it's just.
So it's not necessarily like state to state, but it's more just like
It's just
smaller area.
Yeah. I mean, Wabash County. I mean,
Yeah, let's do this fireball shot that we
yeah.
killed a fireball for. That we killed the fireball for in our own hometowns. No, sorry. I'm making fun of you, Brad. Making fun of the situation.
Laughing with you, Brad, not at you.
Hope you don't get pulled over tonight on my way out of here.
I'm
make a phone call real quick.
On your way out of here?
On your way out of here.
Are you calling my neighbor?
Yeah. What is his name? Jacob?
It's David. I need to go down to the ghetto to find him.
I don't know. I just, it's something that I've gotten into over the last. I really wanted to start it about probably like 7-8 years ago. I just couldn't.
Yeah.
With, kids being so young. In the last 3 years, it was something that was really passionate to me, and it's just, for me, it's like it's a time, and I don't know. Like, I know you do the sauna, and
the cold plunge stuff,
the cold plunge, and everything else. But like
flamingo,
for me, I find as much clarity as humanly possible when I'm sitting out in a tree stand, or I'm sitting in a blind somewhere, and I'm just there, and I'm by myself, and I'm listening to the squirrels running around me, and maybe one day I've got the sun beating down on me, the next day I've got nothing but snow in my face. Like, regardless of the temperature, regardless of the conditions, like, there's just something about being out there where you have nothing but just nature, and it's
quiet.
Yeah, and we all as men deal with a lot of shit, and we all have a lot of noises in our lives, and
the fact that you can't even call me a man, if I didn't say that you could call me a man.
It's true. Thank God you don't have a Bud Light in your hand.
Chad Happel said that he's got a spot you can go hunting.
Oh, there we go.
Hopefully I didn't butcher Chad's last name.
Yeah, he's the one that went with us to Notre Dame.
Hey,
What-
Chad, I want to hunt that land. How do I rent it?
Where? I wasn't there.
I
Yeah.
wasn't.
Who?
I was being chased by a 4-wheeler.
Right. Yeah.
He was actually bear hunting in the woods with his little weeder
Yeah.
hanging out.
I was on that land Chad's talking about.
Right.
I've been hunting.
I've been hunting.
Which is funny that this guy doesn't hunt because he owns more guns than you and I do combined.
No, I don't.
No, shut up, Brad. What guns? What gun? I mean, these guns?
ATF.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh man, but yeah, I mean,
Awkward silence.
I'm sure there is a zen to that, though. I mean,
There is.
I've never. When I duck hunted, that was fun because you didn't have to really be quiet. There was 6 of us out there. You know,
Yeah.
we took beer with us and just laid in the blinds and just, talk shit. And then you see a flock coming at you. So then you get ready. I really enjoyed that aspect. But like, I don't know, sitting in a tree stand just doesn't, I didn't grow up doing that. So I don't.
It
don't know
doesn't
how to
appeal to
feel.
me either. Like my uncle and all my cousins, but they're on property, and they go down like they walk down the creek, and they move the deer out, and once the deer are scaring out, that's when they shoot them, and that's what I could do.
Yeah.
But I couldn't do the whole sit in a tree stand and watch that fucker come up. I'm not doing that.
You're on the wall.
Right. I don't got time for that.
But I mean, and that's good. I mean, everybody needs something though, and if that brings you peace, Brad. I mean, hell yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just not something that.
Nothing like sitting in that tree stand with some Bud Lights.
Yeah. I've never drank with a gun in my hand, so you don't have to worry about that.
But
Makes one of us.
shit.
Shit. Is this getting posted?
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
hey, Dean, it's 11
11
o'clock.
I know. I need to make like a dick and head.
I thought you were getting head and then going.
No, that was before.
That was a lie. That was a lie. But yeah,
Be real,
I mean,
guys.
well, thanks for stopping again, Dean.
I'm not making. I'm like not like dipping out like I'm out, but I'm out about.
Oh,
He's out. He's out about.
he's out of okay.
What the fuck this is? I don't know.
Is he drinking a Bud Light again? Is that what happens?
Old style.
Oh, nice.
We're also not sponsored by Old Style. Can we show everybody that we're not sponsored by? Not sponsored by Dickies.
Dickies.
We want to be though.
We're not sponsored by Apple.
Sponsored by shit.
Sponsored. But
No, you guys gonna continue on or?
yeah, we'll probably go for another half hour.
I can't go for that long.
But what I want to talk about, since we talked about a lot of me last week, Brad, I want to talk to you about your experience so far with the carnivore diet.
Me. I want to talk about number one. Oh my.
I don't know that song, but I'm gonna jam to it.
Oh, it's a country song.
Oh, I probably
Talk about me. I want to talk about me. I don't know. I can't sing.
it's all right.
Anyway,
Yeah. Hey, go fuck yourself.
thanks. I'm gonna try.
See you, pal.
Where are you
Oh,
going
sorry.
tonight? Where you heading off to?
See you guys. I'm supposed to go watch the fight, but I think it's going
At
on
where?
about- at Austin's.
Jesus, all the way down by your old place?
Yeah,
You're not gonna make it.
that sounds like a challenge. God damn it.
Sounds like a challenge.
There's a beer for the road in there.
Road
Serious.
soda.
See you guys.
See you, Dean. Be careful.
Thanks.
Look out for deer.
I got it noted up in the country here. What's in that pelican case?
That's actually where my PlayStation travels. Yeah, so when I go to the hospital or when I go on the road, I can put my PlayStation in there.
Noise.
Noise.
You want some gushers, or you want me to take them?
You better take them because otherwise I'll eat them.
Dean, can you swing by the house and drop them off on your way through?
No sugar for you,
I
Braden.
know.
Is he no sugar? Like, deal?
He and I are doing the same thing, bud.
What the fuck is wrong?
If you stuck around and we could talk about it, we could talk about it. But
I'll
you don't
talk
wanna
about it, but I'm not gonna be about it. All right, what am I doing? This?
No, just take it with you.
Take the what?
What the beer? There's only one.
There's one beer.
Yeah, take that one with you and leave everything else. I'll take care of it.
There's trash.
I'll take care of the trash.
Love you. This is the easiest fucking podcast I've ever been a part of.
Hey.
It's the hardest podcast.
Sorry, folks. They've been drinking Bud Lights tonight.
It's not camera.
Is this thing on? Oops. That's so funny.
All right.
See you, Dean.
All right.
Yep. See you guys.
Make sure you do.
Hey, are you? I don't know how to.
Make sure you do.
Signing out.
Sign.
Whatever.
Dude, that was full. That was
I'll be
full
on.
bore.
All right, cool. Dean's gonna like us in the car.
Appreciate
See you,
it,
buddy.
Dean. That was full bore. Your junk right there in the camera. What? You just had a weird look on your face.
I hope he makes it.
Oh, he will.
We're coming in close, Mr. DeVille. Sorry. So, all right. So, what did you say? You said we talked about you.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So last week we talked a lot about me and my experience with the carnivore diet and everything. So like, I want to hear your experience because you've done it. What now? A week and a half?
Yeah. So it's officially. So I would say I got back from my trip Wednesday night. So we'll say I
Last
kicked it off last week. We'll say I kicked it off on Thursday.
Okay.
Now, in the interest of full disclosure, I have not gone strictly carnivore diet, right?
Mhm.
I have not eliminated carbs because I will still have cheese. I will still do like low carb tortilla shells if I make like a salami with cream cheese. Maybe put some turkey, some shredded cheese, like a type of aioli sauce on there. Like I'll still have that, and it probably nets out at like 3 to 6 grams of carbs,
Yeah.
thereabouts. But like the sugar is in essence 0, and that's the one thing that I can say that I'm truly proud of myself is in the entire time that I've done this, which again, 7 to 10 days.
Mm-hmm.
I have had one crash day. And you and I talked about this when we were on the phone one day.
Mhm.
And one night I was laying in bed and I had been good. I had been good all fucking day. And my wife was like, "Hey, do you want a Reese's?" And I said,
Oh,
"No,
tested you.
I'm good." And she goes, "Just have one with me." And I said, "Okay, I'll have a Reese's." So I ate a Reese's. Well, a Reese's turned into a bag of Sour Patch Kids and then into a bag of gummy bears because I said, "You know what, motherfucker?
Oh man.
If I'm cheating, I'm cheating.
Yep.
The only thing I'll cheat on is my wife when it comes to food. And other than that, that's it." So I said, "I'll eat the sugars. You and I, we can do this together and we'll be good."
Yep.
So I ate one night horribly, and I paid for it.
Next day.
Dude, I
Or through the
felt,
night?
huh?
Through the night or just the next day?
The next day, dude, I woke up, and I have to preface this because I don't sleep a ton. So my average hours of sleep on a nightly basis are from 11:30 to 6:30 is the longest that I will sleep.
Mhm.
So I get about, what is that, 7 hours of sleep?
That's still good. I mean, shit, man. I mean, that's still good sleep. I only
Yeah.
get like 5.5.
Every night?
Pretty close.
Really?
Now, I may be laying in bed with my eyes closed, but like good amount of sleep.
Oh no, I'm talking about like the earliest I will fall asleep is 11:30, and the latest that I will wake up is 6:30.
Yeah.
But I'm talking like on average, if I go to bed, it's sometime between 12:30 and 1.
Yeah.
That's when I usually fall asleep.
Yeah.
It's 12:30 and 1, and then I'm up between 6 and 6:30. So
Yeah, I'll give myself a conservative 6 hours of sleep.
yeah, and that's where I'm at too, and that's and again, it's not healthy. I mean, you need to work on that, and I need to work on that
Yeah.
because 6 hours of sleep is not the appropriate amount of sleep.
Dude, I just have a hard time wanting to, I mean, if I wanted to go to sleep at 9 o'clock at night, I could do it. But I just busy all day long, and the last thing I want to do is go to bed 3 hours after I
You
get
got to do
home.
it though. Here's the thing: like you're gonna run out of hours. Like your body is gonna tell you you're running out of hours.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to do it every night. But
No.
when I was listening to Andrew Huberman talk on the Joe Rogan podcast, and he was talking about there's a time of day every day where everybody gets sleepy.
Mm-hmm.
Braden, for you, it could be 2 o'clock in the afternoon. For me, it could be 5 o'clock. Whatever that time is, it's about 8 hours from that point in time to when you're supposed to be going, like you're supposed to be sleeping.
Yeah.
I think he actually said 7. So like my time when I usually get sleepy, and this is a true fact, when I usually get tired is between 4:30 and 6 o'clock at night. And that's because I usually will go to bed between 11:30 and 1:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And so my body is telling me, my body is conditioned to telling me that I need to go to bed 7 hours from that point in time. So if you're sitting there and you say, hey, when I get home and it's like 2:30 in the afternoon and I'm exhausted and I lay down on the couch or I sit on the couch and I start to fall asleep and I doze off, that's because your body's telling you 7 hours from now, go to bed.
Yeah.
Don't fucking fight it. Go to bed. Get your sleep. I always used to not laugh. I always just joke. My wife would tell me, like, you need to sleep. You can't burn the candle at both ends. You can't do all this stuff and just expect to be okay. And I'm like, I'll sleep when I'm dead. Until one day, one person was like, but what happens if you die sooner than you want to go to sleep? Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
You're not wrong, right? So it's like, it's all about that self-care. So you're doing this whole carnivore diet. I'm doing like a spin-off of it. In the last week and a half, I've dropped 6 pounds.
Very good.
So I'm down 6, thank you. But again, so Braden, you took it to a very, I don't want to say extreme, but you took it to a very regimented point.
Mm-hmm.
I had a cheat night where, like I said, I ate sugars, but then I'm also still doing my vodka. I still drink my vodka soda, and I don't do soda, but I do vodka water with some Mio. There's 0 sugars in any of that. There's only the cornstarch that comes in vodka naturally. So I do have that still, but
we've talked about being it more about how you feel.
correct.
Because you don't want to get too hung up on, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do
Yeah.
this. If what you're doing and you feel good with what you're doing, like, that's fine.
Yeah.
But if you aren't feeling good, that's where you need to step in on your own and say, look, I really need to fight through not having sugars. If sugars is the reason you're not feeling good.
Yeah.
And I've had,
I've
I've had carbs a couple times during this thing. I mean, I had pizza one night. I had tacos, and through that first month, I mean, I told you I had tacos that one night, and we got on a kick about, was it the chorizo or was it the chips and all that stuff that I was eating too? And it come down to it where, I mean, obviously it was the tortilla chips that you eat, because you can't eat just 3 or 4 out of that basket. You got to eat the whole damn basket.
Heard that.
Yeah. But again, I mean, if you feel good with what you're doing, keep doing it. You can always alter it. You can always change it up. But if it gets to a point where you're like, I can't do, like, what I'm doing, I still feel like crap, and it's like, okay, well then let's do the elimination kind of thing, where you know at some point you got to fight, through it, and just say no, kids. Just say no. Oh, you putting your headset on?
You're breaking up. Sorry. You there?
Yep. So does that sound better?
You there?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Hold on.
I don't know what you were doing, but it kind of stopped working.
No, your video's not moving at all.
But you can hear me? It must be just like between you and I, because everybody's saying
Your video is not moving at.
I don't know, man. I mean, I feel like I'm moving. And your video spinning. Sorry, we're having technical difficulties. Get on the IT department about that. Maybe he'll come back. There he is. He's coming back. There it is. Can you hear me, Brad? Brad James.
I'm here.
There it is.
You there?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, so just like what we were talking about, as long as you feel good about what you're doing, you can always change it up. You can always take stuff out. But I've had cheat meals. Now, I don't do cheat days. I don't like doing the cheat days, because then that's just a domino.
Agreed.
I went through the whole day and I was fine. Let's try it again the next day, and then before you know it, you're feeling like crap again. So I mean, every now and then, if you want a slice of pizza, have a slice of pizza. Like, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
But don't deviate away from what you're trying to accomplish. Because like in what 22nd, so like, man, it's gone so fast. I'm almost 2 months through this thing. It's gone so fast too. But like I may try 90 days and then start incorporating like more vegetables and stuff.
Yeah. I think you have to incorporate the natural, like, dietary fiber things, like vegetables and and other grains. It doesn't have to be like carb
if you have
heavy
issues,
grains.
If you have issues,
Well, yeah, no,
with
absolutely, yeah,
digestion,
yeah. But I'm just saying, like, I think at some point you have to like start looking beyond the scope of just doing meats and dairy. Uh, excuse me, because I think the biggest thing for me was I said, okay, there's two things that I can eat in every meal and I won't have any issue, and that's meat and that's cheese. And I said, I'm going to focus on just those things, while still adhering to my general nature to have an adult beverage or 3 in the evening, right? So I said, I'm going to try this. If it's not working, then guess what? I have to take away one of the 3 things.
Mm-hmm.
But so far, it is working. Now, the one thing that I will say is I've gone away from drinking beer, which I was drinking every night, 2, 3, 4 a night, to drinking vodka, which I would still do on a pretty regular basis,
Mm-hmm.
but I was doing vodka soda. So I was having the additional carbonation. I was having the Diet Mountain Dew. So you had the syrup, regardless of there's no sugar. There's still syrup in there. There's still some like thick consistency that's based upon that.
Yeah, there's
So I
fake
went away.
stuff in there.
Yeah, there is. So I went away from that to just vodka, water, and then I would put some like Mio sprays in there.
Yeah.
And that has given me that curb for not dependency, but like for that curb for like natural like um, calming, I guess I would say. Like at the end of a really really stressful day, you just you pour a drink, and you have one. You just like just take a deep breath. And I've still been able to maintain. I've been very good about my diet. Like I said, outside of the one night that I had a night at the Roxbury's Bender with gummy bears and Sour Patch Kids,
Yeah. I mean,
I did well. And so in 7 days to be down almost 6 pounds, I will take it.
absolutely.
Could I be more aggressive? Yes. Absolutely, without a doubt, I could do it more stringently.
Yeah.
I could be more strict. I could be more this, that, or the other. However, like I've also turned down. I I went today to Goodwill where Goodwill at DuPont
Yeah.
is right next to Kroger.
Yep.
Well, just next to the Kroger and the Goodwill is the
Ooh.
Ace.
Yep.
And then right next to the Ace Hardware is Rise and Roll.
Yes, it is.
And I bought two boxes of cracked donuts.
The donut holes or the whole the donut holes. Yeah. Hey boy.
And guess how many I had?
0.
I had one.
Damn it, Brad.
I had one.
Damn it.
But normally I'd eat almost a box.
Dude, that whole box could be gone.
I'd eat a box by myself.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yep.
Easy. So I'm like,
I mean, I snuck like, a handful of jelly beans and stuff like that.
I'm like, man, bro, I fucking crushed it. Like I look at that like I fucking that's an accomplishment.
Absolutely.
We had B-dubs 2 nights ago. Thursday we had B-dubs. I got bone-in wings.
Yep.
Right? Best thing you can get on their menu. Outside of maybe a salad. But fuck salads.
Yeah.
I got bone-in wings. My wife says, hey, get the chili con queso. I said, okay. So we get the chili con queso. She's eating it. Chips, chili, cheese. Chili, cheese. Right? And I don't know how she does it. She's fucking amazing. She has been the same size that she has been since I've known her. So she can do this shit. But she's like, are you not going to help me with this chips and cheese? And I was like, nope. She goes, well, if I save it, will you eat it? And I said, nope. And I threw the leftovers away.
Well, good for you, man. I mean,
Pour one out.
yeah.
But that's what you're talking about. You're talking about being able to make sacrifices when they're not necessarily sacrifices. They're things that you used to do, eat, consume, that you're like, I don't really need that.
Yeah.
Like the more you think about it, you're like like you said, it's not like I'm out here pushing myself to quit doing everything, but
Yeah.
I'm just out here to make myself healthier.
Yeah.
So if I can sit back and I can look at, okay, I want to eat this. I want to eat that, but like I don't really need that, so I'm just gonna let that go,
Hmm.
and I'm gonna be good. And then next thing you know, like, okay, I'm full. Like I ate today 4 smoky links. I ate some pepperoni with some cream cheese, and then my wife made the we call it cracked chicken. It's basically like shredded chicken with ranch, cream cheese, and bacon.
Yeah.
That's it, and that's what I ate today. And I feel full. Whereas before, I would have eaten probably two breakfast sandwiches. I would have eaten something unhealthy for lunch, and then we probably would have ordered Mexican for dinner, and I would have gotten chips and queso and arroz con pollo, and I would have been
Oh,
like, I would have been so
so good.
bloated and fat and feeling disgusting.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever gone to a Mexican restaurant and came out feeling like, man, I feel good. It's always like,
you
oh,
didn't
ugh.
you didn't have enough margaritas then.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm talking like gut.
Hmm.
I've come
I know
out,
what you mean.
I've
I'm
come
blowing
out
your
of
shit.
some
I know what you mean. Yeah,
Mexican establishments and
yeah.
been a little
I know what you're
cross-eyed,
talking about.
but yeah, I mean it. I don't know. It's just anybody that is listening and they haven't tried it yet, and you're having issues or anything like that. Like, give it a shot. And with having the carnivore diet, pretty much anything, that animal that you eat, whether it's you know beef, cows, pig, fish, chicken, turkey, whatever it is. True carnivore is head to toe or head to tail, but some of the stuff's just not available to eat, and whether I really don't want to eat some of that stuff, um, but it's helped me a lot. And it sounds like for you, Brad, it's starting to help you as well. And you've mentioned before where, you know, some XL t-shirts that you had that were kind of starting to feel a little tight, and you're swimming in some of them. So
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I so the wife and we're going to a Kenny Chesney concert in May, and she had said, "I want to order you a shirt," and I said, "Okay, order one for me." And she goes, "What size?" And I said, "Get me an extra large." And it's funny, first of all, because I have shirts in my closet from 5 years ago where I was wearing an adult small.
wow.
Yeah, I was small. I weighed about like a buck 73, buck 78 in that ballpark. Um, and she's like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Yeah." She goes, "Well, do you want me to get you a 2X just in case?" And I said, "Well, no. Why?"
Well,
And she goes, "Well, she said, well, because you tell me all the time that your XLs fit too tight,
mm-hmm.
and I just want you to be comfortable." And I was like, "No, it's my responsibility to make sure that I never get back to that point in my life again. Like
Yeah.
I used to have to wear a 2XL, and I felt miserable.
Mm-hmm.
Now, don't get me wrong, the sweatshirt that I'm wearing tonight, like the little elastic here at the bottom, like I've got broad shoulders, right? So like to pull it over my shoulders, I still have to do some work, but like once it's on, I don't feel like I'm busting at the seams. Like
Yeah.
even tonight, like I'm just like I've got room. Like I'm not feeling like my belly is hanging out, pushing out. It's not protruding into, the what I'm wearing. I
Yeah.
put on several shirts where I'm like, and again, my shoulders are broad, but the rest of me is, it can be
Yeah.
more fit. And I'm like, I feel like I can get back into wearing this kind of clothing.
Mm-hmm.
And I've started to be able to fit into those shirts. And I'm starting to get into the point where some of them are even being a little too. They're not baggy. They're not too loose, but they're very comfortable.
Yeah.
And
Have you looked into
that's
True Classic tees yet?
no, I didn't. I
You're gonna
didn't.
love them. I'm telling
Well,
you.
okay. So here's the thing. There's two reasons why. The first and foremost is I am a graphics person. I I like an image on my shirt. The second reason is because I have so many shirts right now that I just really am like, I don't really want to get rid of anything to put more t shirts into this. I
Yeah.
would like to. I would love to. I would love to feel better in a t shirt. But if it's not going to replace something that I already have, and I just went through my t shirt drawer, my wife just had me do this 4 days ago. Excuse me. She just had me go through and replace or remove everything that I wasn't wearing anymore. And I said, I don't want to get rid of this, and this. And it's because there's an image or there's a message or whatever it is on that particular t shirt that I'm a fan of.
Yeah.
And the true classic shirts don't have that. So that's why I asked you when we talked last. I was like, do they have any kind of like printing? And you're like, no, they're just plain. I'm like, there's a completely wide open market for that stuff. But I'm just not the person that wants to wear plain black, plain blue, plain gray,
Yeah.
plain white, plain
That's
green.
fine.
I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
I just don't do plain.
Yeah.
Even this right here. I got a logo here. I got a logo on this side here. Right? So I mean,
Yeah.
like I got stuff all I just do.
That's all
So
right. There's nothing wrong with that. I just
I
didn't
wi-
know if you.
I subscribe to Grunt Style.
Yeah, you
I'm
were
sure you've
mentioning
heard of
something
them.
about that
Yeah.
last time.
Yeah, so I subscribe to them. I would love for them to get into bed with or the True Classic tees.
Yeah.
And maybe we can create a baby here.
So. Oh man. So, but all in all, pretty happy with like today. Let's see what I have for. So today I just had 3 eggs over easy for breakfast. I wasn't really too crazy hungry, but I was hungry enough to eat something. And then for lunch today, what do we do? I don't remember. But then tonight I did ribeyes.
Nice.
So, and then tomorrow morning, I did a chuck roast tonight. That was part of the reason why I couldn't get on until about 9:30, but I had to pull all that stuff apart and break it up. So I'll have that in the morning on top with eggs on top and throw some butter on there. It'll be a good morning. And then I've got some hamburger I need to patty up and throw it on the old Blackstone.
Yeah.
So, but it takes time. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not in any hurry.
I mean, like you said, there's literally no goal in mind. It's all about mindset.
Yeah.
And I think that's the number one thing that we as people get so lost in is we focus so much on where do I got to get to? What's my number got to be?
Yeah.
How much money do I have to make? What's my status got to be? How many likes do I have to get to? All these different things. You focus on a number, and it should not be that. It should be, how do you feel? Do you wake up every morning feeling like you are ready to take on the day, or do you wake up every morning like, here we go again?
Yeah.
And I will
just
tell you,
from the inflammation and waking up and walking around and
Yeah.
you feel like your body aches so bad, it's like you got to find a way to get rid of that inflammation because
well, exactly, and that's kind of like the whole like here we go again. Like you wake up and you're like, all right, the first 10 steps are gonna hurt to go to the bathroom, and then I'll loosen up a little bit. And then I got to get in the shower and I got to wash this headache away if you've been drinking, or I got to wash the gunk out of my eyes if I'm too sleepy because I didn't get enough rest last night, or I got I got to turn the water down to wake me up because I didn't get enough sleep, or I didn't go to bed early enough, or I'm just not awake enough, or I'm not alive enough, or I'm not using my energy enough. Like there's all these composites
Yeah.
that go into like what it takes to have a successful start to your day.
Yep.
And part of that, the biggest part of that is self-image. And if you can't look at yourself in the mirror and say, I feel great, or I feel good.
Yeah.
I feel good. I feel better today than I was yesterday.
So is there
Then,
anything else you're going to change, or are you going to continue down what you're doing now?
I mean, again, I've only been at it for we'll call it 7 days, right? So we'll call it 10 days.
Okay.
10 days with one cheat day. So I want to give it a, excuse me, I want to give it a month, and then if I don't get under the 10-pound threshold within a month, then I will change something.
Yeah.
However, I can tell you that I'm going to start being more active. Whether it's getting up in the mornings and walking at night. Now that the weather's starting to like change and adapt here in Indiana,
Yep.
or going to the gym, or just doing, the whole the whole 23 a day push up thing, right? Where you just do 23 push ups, for any wounded warrior vets that are out there. I've done in the past. I've done 50 push-ups, 50 sit-ups, 50.
Burpees.
Thank you.
Yep.
And then a 1 minute plank, and I did that every day. And it's just something to get your body, moving, your metabolism moving, your energy sources burning the right things.
Mm-hmm.
And just utilizing those things. There's so many ways that I could deviate from this to where I'm like, back in the day, yeah, I would jump out on the road and I would run, a mile, and I would just go. And if I threw up at the end, fine. If I didn't, okay, great. I'll push myself to run faster the next time. And then about 2 weeks later, I'd run a 5K. And if I threw up, fine. And if I didn't, great. I'd run faster the next time, until I could work myself up to where I was running a 5K 2 days a week, and I was running a half marathon once a week, and I was doing that. But I don't enjoy running. I actually fucking hate it. I hate running. So if I can get to something where I can burn calories as successfully as running, but by doing it in shorter stints, I did the HIIT workouts, the high intensity training workouts. I did that for a while. Just finding something that works for you. But I think for now I'm gonna maintain. I'm gonna continue to eat the way that I'm eating currently. Again, I'm gonna try to avoid any kind of cheat day going forward. I'm gonna push my wife to the side and tell her to stop feeding me candy. And I'm gonna try and hit my 10-pound mark in a month, or more, right? Or more. But listen, my goal is to lose 50. If I finish 35 pounds, I'm 6'1" at 200 pounds. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Well,
But
that's what we talked about earlier, though, too. Like, yeah, the scale is a nice thing to. I mean, it's a curse as well as it is
a blessing.
a blessing. It's like, hey, I've lost weight, or it's like, damn, man, like the first 2 weeks I lost, 12, 13 pounds, but I haven't seen anything come off. I've been stagnant. Like, what the heck?
Yeah.
So that's why, like I say, you got to give yourself a good month and not worry about, like losing another 4 pounds or 5 pounds, because it'll happen. It just, you
Yep.
just got to stick with it.
Well, you just got to trust it. Like The first couple of days, I didn't see shit. I didn't see anything. And then I started feeling fuller.
Mm-hmm.
I started not needing to fill my mornings with coffee and then a ton of water. I would eat the eggs and the proteins in the morning, and then I would be fueled. Now, the one thing that I will say that I'm going to try if I don't hit my 10-pound mark within a month. And I mean, I don't know, what are we on right now? What's today? Today is the 22nd. So that would have
With
been,
doing it how you're doing it now,
huh?
because you could get there if you change stuff.
Yeah. Oh,
But
absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely. But what I'm going to do is if I don't get where I want to be. So today's the 22nd. So Thursday would have been the 20th. Yes, 20th. So then 7 days would have been the 13th. So if I don't get there by May 13th, 10 pounds, then I will go to a full on, um, what do they call it? Christ, I just lost the
cleanse,
freaking term. No. You eat for so many hours, stop, fast. There,
fasting.
fasting. Yeah. So I will focus on fasting more because I have the ability to do that better than anything else that I can do.
Mm-hmm.
I can eat for 8 hours, and then I can do nothing else
Yeah.
for the rest of the time. So that would be the next thing that I would jump to, would be fasting.
But the problem is, though, man, you want to eat when you're hungry. Like, if you feel hungry but you're fasting, you're trying to, fast through that whole thing. Break your fast and eat. Like,
Yeah, but there's very few times where I feel hungry.
okay,
Yeah, that's how I'm built.
yeah. But and again, this isn't supposed to be something that's like time sensitive either. Like,
Correct.
this is supposed to be something where it's supposed to be easy to do, enjoyable, not having to worry about I got to buy 12 things to make this
I don't think we're recording
meal.
anymore.
It says we're still. Yeah, it
The
says we're
time.
still live.
Okay. All right. The clicker or the timer isn't running anymore, so that's why I wasn't sure.
Oh yeah, it's still showing on my end,
Okay, it's not on mine. Sorry.
but it's. I don't know. You just don't worry about the time sensitivity of it. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have to make 7 different things for a meal. It's, a couple things and you're good,
Yeah.
But I still love it. I still think it's awesome. It's made me feel better. A lot of
Yeah.
people, I've ran into people that don't agree with it, and I'm like, that's fine. Like,
Yeah. That's on you.
I'm the one feeling better. I don't give a
Yeah.
shit if you don't like what I'm doing, but I'll tell you what, I wasn't feeling good with what I was doing, and yeah, I'm taking out
Now I feel
carbs,
great.
and taking out everything else, but I feel good.
Yeah. And that's important. That's the most important part of this.
Mm-hmm.
It's just about how you feel. So
Yep.
I agree, man. I
So,
do. So
all right.
all
Well,
right. Well, listen, you enjoy the rest of your night. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of mine. And I'm assuming you and I will probably get on soon,
yep.
and we'll hit the ground running again.
Sounds good, buddy.
All right, brother. You have a good night.
See ya. Thanks for
Bye.
watching, everybody.
Bye.